Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with men's cross country coach John Tucker and football captain John Fitzgibbons. But first, a quick look back on the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. The volleyball team clinched the ODAC regular season championship with 3 wins in 3 days, beating Randolph-Macon, Randolph, and Lynchburg to lock up home court advantage in the conference tournament. Football came from behind to defeat Randolph-Macon 34-30 on Saturday, while the women's soccer team blanked RMC and Denison back-to-back as Emily Leary set the WNL career shutout record. Men's soccer scored late to beat Guilford 1-0 on Saturday, while the men's and women's swimming teams launched their seasons by defeating Center. Field hockey dropped a 2-1 road decision to Eastern Mennonite, and first-year Sonia McGann placed 5th at the ITA Small College Women's Tennis Championship in Alabama. Also this weekend, women's cross-country came in 9th in a competitive field at the Royal Cross Country Challenge in Charlotte, while the men finished 24th at Oberlin. I'm joined now by men's cross-country head coach John Tucker. John, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Oberlin marks the end of the regular season for your team. How pleased have you been with the 4 meets so far?
I've been very pleased. The 24th place finish at Oberlin, of course, is a pretty high number, and we've been used to seeing much lower numbers. We actually saw 10th at a very competitive meet at Paul Short up at Lehigh University a few weeks ago. But the guys are running. They're in the case of Oberlin, for example, the guys, many of them ran either season best or lifetime best races. So they're working hard, they're getting faster, they're getting confidence. I'm very pleased with the team's progress so far.
One of your seniors has been your best finisher in every meet so far this season. What's it like to rely on your veterans like that?
Well, I like the way you put that, veterans, and we've had seniors, but we've also had sophomores and juniors and even freshmen finishing in our top 5. So while I am very pleased with our veterans and our seniors, Ryan Hitter and Matt Gossett in particular, we're seeing other members of our team like Tyler Gears and Kane Thomas and some freshmen also running some competitive races for us. So very happy about all that.
Give us a breakdown of the ODAC Championship course at Bedford.
Well, it's a new course for everybody. It's a beautiful field, basically. It's an agricultural nature study center, actually, out there near Peaks of Otter. So it's a beautiful place. It's like most fields. It's a little lumpy. It's not particularly runner-friendly, but we're going to be going over there Saturday to do a workout on that course, and I'm going over tomorrow to measure some precision 1600 so that we'll have some accurate times on that for our workout Saturday. And I think that while it's not an easy course, it's not a particularly difficult course either, so I think we'll see some pretty fast times there.
What are the Generals' goals for the postseason?
Well, our goals for the postseason are pretty much identical to our goals for every race, which is to run the best race of which we're capable. And I think I let some of our, especially our older fellas, our higher mileage guys, talked me into letting them run too many miles last week. We were not tapered and rested for Oberlin, and I wasn't expecting us to be, but I think we were not as sharp last weekend as we will be for ODAC. So our goal is to run our best race, to run season best or lifetime best races, and I think we're in a very good position to do so.
John, thanks for joining us here. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
I'm joined now by John Fitzgibbons, senior football captain from Martinsville, Virginia. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You've won back-to-back ODAC road games with late scoring drives. How confident is the team right now that it can execute with the game on the line?
I think very confident. The last minute scoring drive, or that 2-minute drill, is a very integral part of our practice. Every Thursday we go through it, and I think you really set the expectation for us to score, late in the game is not any different from what it is in normal time of the game. I think Coach Abel really, pushes us to make sure that we expect to score, and that his calmness and his collectiveness really trickles down throughout the entire offense.
After helping the Generals set all kinds of rushing records last season, you and your line mates are doing a bit more pass protection as WNL's thrown the ball more frequently in 2011. How has the offense changed from your perspective this year?
I would prefer not to say the offense hasn't changed, but defenses are really starting to adjust to what we do. And they're starting to load the box with 7, 8 guys, which makes it very difficult for 5 offensive linemen to block. At that same point in time, it opens up. They're daring us to throw the ball, and Charlie Westfall has been doing a wonderful job getting the ball to all of our playmakers, Alex Evans, Russell Stewart, and all those guys who are making big plays down the field for us.
You've been a 4-year starter on the offensive line, but you began your career as a center, then moved to left tackle, and now you line up at right guard. How have you been able to transition to all the different positions on the line?
I mean, I'll be the first person to tell you when I moved from center, I was not the most upset person in the world. I was very happy about it, and but the big thing for us is that when personnel has changed, the coach has been willing to tinker with the line to see where people fit best. And working with Coach Colleton and Coach Dahl, who's one of our volunteer assistants, they really helped get your footwork down, get the little nuances of every single position down so that you're doing the best job game in and game out.
Midway through the conference schedule, Washington and Lee is 3-0 in the league. What will the Generals need to do to maintain their momentum in the last 3 ODAC games? I
mean, it sounds very cliche-ish, but we have to take it one game at a time. We were in the same position last year, except it was very much more unexpected. Bridgewater and Catholic are all good teams, but we need to make sure we don't look ahead to Hampton-Sydney to what we hope to as a repeat of last year's game. If we work hard in practice and come out and execute the games, I feel like that we should be playing Hampton-Sydney for the ODAC championship. But at the same time, if we don't, we could easily lose the next 2 games and be at 3-2 when we're facing Hampton-Sydney.
John, thanks for joining us here. Good luck against Bridgewater on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
The men's and women's swimming teams visit Mary Washington on Friday evening. The women will then play host to the ODAC Relays on Saturday. Also Saturday, men's soccer steps out of conference play to travel to Greensboro, while the women wrap up the regular season with an ODAC match at Bridgewater. Football looks to stay unbeaten in the conference with a 1 o'clock kickoff against the Eagles at Wilson Field, while field hockey finishes its regular season at home against Randolph-Macon, and volleyball visits 8th-ranked Christopher Newport. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.